couldn't walk a mile in these Air Maxes. From the streets where a murder is a scare tactic. We bear ratchets for enemies trying to flare at us. You hesitating, you die, let's be prepared at it. It's automatic, but it's just another day of life. Whatever dues I had to pay them twice. But I ain't tripping, it's part of the mission. Struggle gave a nigga vision, bring the shit to fruition.
Right, let's see, yeah. All right. Make sure that we all good. Sure we all positive, man. What's going on with y'all, man? Nico TV, Voice of the West. I did say that I was going to wait. I said, hey, I'm going to wait for this last verdict because this last verdict is important. But my energy is up right now, man. My energy up right now. I couldn't wait to go ahead and just go ahead and talk battle rap, talk about the event I just watched. You know what I'm saying? So while the energy's still there, while I'm still in that mode right now, I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. So West Lane 3 happened last night, or happened yesterday. They recorded the battles yesterday, played it for us today. And I will say this because I'm going to get into the good, the bad, and the hidden. Early for the good, I kind of like this format. Now, I do understand that the format might not be for everybody. You want to see it when it happens live. That's the purpose of live. But this format where it was just back to back to back to back to back to back, I love that format. I'll say that right now. I appreciated that format. I was fucking with it. I was fucking with it a lot. So I'm not mad at it. If it happened again, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? To get into, the good, that's a part of the good. So we'll start with the good. Standout performances. I think that there were a few people who stood out with their performances, namely performance of the night. I'll just say it now. Dre Vicious, salute to you, sir. To me personally, if you're going to return after a hiatus, that's how you return. So that was good. Performances were good. I thought that a lot of these battles were very solid as well. Let's see, I might have to put comments on the screen or something. I don't know. Try to if we get there, but I'll send the invite link out too later on, man. This wasn't gonna be like the official radio show. We're doing that whenever the official verdict is, but this was just my quick recap. But yeah, man, the good performances I thought were pretty good. I did appreciate the returns. Jason, I seen his return as well versus V Gotti, Dre Vicious return, Shrubhead's return. So I was impressed for the most part in what I've seen. There were some things that we can critique, nitpick and whatnot, but for the most part, in terms of returns, I thought it was 3 for 3. You know what I'm saying? It's about what I expected, plus a little bit extra. I ain't gonna lie, plus a little bit extra. But salute to that. That's a part of the good. What else was good? What else we gonna say was good? Like I said, the stream and how the stream moved and just back to back to back to back to back, getting the battles all at once. I just, from the viewer perspective, it was dope because when you're at an actual event, there's so much time that's in between. You have people doing everything that they got going on. And I thought that this was just dope to have where it was just such rapid pace. It was just so on point that everybody was locked in. And I think that a lot of times people think like, well, the crowd won't be locked in. You got to give them a break and all that. I get it. But from a viewing perspective, watching it, I think it would made it very easy to just tune in, just watch all the battles back to back, especially how the order of the battles went as well. That's something we got to highlight too. A lot of times with events, people mess up with that, right? They mess up by having certain things in terms of the order of the battles. I think that this was a perfect order. This was the right order. Kept everybody in tune, kept the flow going. So I did appreciate that a lot. Camera quality, Avo, gotta salute that. Gotta salute the camera work. We're gonna show love to the camera. What else? We talking about the good. The good with this event. Listen, I'm in California. I'm in Sacramento. It's hot than a motherfucker out here. I know it's about 10 degrees hotter out there, right? So the fact that everybody was able to thug this out, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was indoors in like the boiler room, if it was indoors in like what looked like a bedroom with multiple doors, I don't know. It just looked versus being outside, they made it happen. Made it happen. I rock with that. I rock with that a lot. Regardless of what it was, they completed the objective. That got to be saluted. That has to be saluted, right? I'm pretty sure there's more good. I'm trying to, if I get back to it, I'll get back to it and let y'all know. But I think that's pretty good so far for the good. We have the bad and we have the hidden. Let's get to the bad. Let's get to the bad, right? Cleanliness in battles. I feel like at least every event you're gonna get somebody who not as clean, a little stumbly. Some people might choke. In every event you might find one person. Some events you get lucky and everybody's clean. I get it. The bad is going to be first off. We're gonna start here. Danny Myers. Oh no 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 no. I said no. Matter of fact, no a third time. We're not bringing that kind of performance to the return of Dre Vicious. No, absolutely not. That to the return of Dre Vicious? No, absolutely not. Hell no. Leave that where it's at because that could have been in a hidden. That could actually, we might double back to that, but cleanliness. Come on, y'all. Happened in a few battles. It did. Happened in a few battles. The bad, I praise the stream and how I like the format, but the fact that it even got to this format with no communication, gotta put that in the bad column. To be fair. Now, what they were able to do with that, immaculate. No problems whatsoever. I done highlighted that I like that. I actually prefer that format. You're just as a viewer, just get right to it. Get your day over with. You know what I'm saying? Get straight to it. I love it. But I think the communication the first day and not having updates, that's something too. Please, we have to have events like this. If it's going to be live stream or there's issues or it's not going to be live stream, we need somebody to be the dedicated update guy. I get it. Nobody, you're living in a moment. You're experiencing the battles in real time. We need updates. We need updates because we didn't know what was going on. There's people on the East Coast that was like, man, I stayed up all day. You know what I'm saying? I stayed up all night trying to see what was going on. There's people on the West. It's like, yo, what's going on? We don't have no communication. Ain't nobody saying anything. We barely getting updates. So that's something in the bad column. We got to do better than that. Got to do better. Have to. It's a necessity. Got to do better. All right. So there's that. There's that. What else? In the bad column. What else in the bad column? I don't know if I say anything else bad. Well, I'm gonna save that for the hit. But the bad column, I'll leave it there. There probably could be more. There could be. I'll leave it there for right now. Let's get to the hidden. No. See, I said let's get to the hidden. That stuff that should have never happened and was even worse than bad. I'm talking about the stuff that happens where you're just like, ain't no way this is going on. That bad. And sometimes even that which is comical. We're adding that to the hidden. So we're at the hidden. What is the hidden? Right? Let's get to the hidden. I mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again because I think it was both bad and hidden. Danny Myers, nigga. Danny. What in the world? What in the world? What is that? What is that? Huh? See, first round, I'm like, okay, Danny pulled up the fight. Okay, I see what you okay. Borgard. Yeah, Borgard. Borgard. Oh yeah. Huh? That was the first round. Second round. Second round. Oh, it didn't seem like there was fun being had anymore.
It was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not by
No, it's not fun anymore. Not even a little.
No more fun. Third round. Oh my good grief. Danny Myers, you to say that was of a certain variety is letting a variety. We did a variety. God, hit one more time for Danny Myers. Second and third round, no. No, no, and more no. All right? What else is hidden? What else do we need to put in the hidden column? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get reminded of something later. I'm going to go back and watch and like, damn, you know what? I should have put that in the hidden column. I should have said more about that in the bad column and put that in the good column. I'm pretty sure. But for right now, for what I'm thinking of right now, that was hidden. The other thing that was hidden, let's get to the other side of the coin. Now, in real time, I have not been updated. So if there is an active update, somebody communicate with me. Tell me if I have not been updated yet. The judges of Grizz versus Hansel. The judging process of Grizz versus Hansel. Am I the only person that would like to know these niggas?
Who's that Pokemon?
We don't know who the judges are. No idea who is judging this battle. We don't even have finality on who they gave the judge decisions. Not only that, not only are those two things hidden, but just the process of the chat and the voting in the chat. Family, family, family. No, 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 no. Look, a battle of this magnitude cannot have this kind of display when it comes to the judgment. Can't happen. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to have to be the one. It can't happen. We needed finality with that decision the moment the battle was done, the moment it got to 200 votes in the chat. Done deal. Judges have already had their time to say who they had winning or losing. The chat got to 200 votes. Whatever the count was at that point, that's it. That's it. No more. There's nothing else to be said, nothing else to be talked about. At that moment, right then and there, that was it. But it wasn't, was it? Huh? It wasn't the case, was it? I said it wasn't the case.
Relax.
No, I will not relax. And we're going to get into that. That's a part of the hidden. So one more time for the hidden portion of what happened with the event. Let me get into the actual recap because we're going to get there. But you can't have that. Can't have it. But to get to the recap, let's start with where they started at. Kamikaze versus Shrubhead. I think this is a pretty clear 3-0. Pretty clear 3-0. Get a little friend. Dre Del Rey. I know you done made yourself very clear. You said that we can't have frappuccinos. Frappuccinos are no more. A nigga can't be caught with a frappuccino. Nigga gotta drink a frappuccino in private. He gotta do that off the air. He can't be public with a frappuccino. Can a matcha get through customs? Can healthy green tea matcha get through customs? I need to know this information. Matter of fact,
Dre DeRay, I'm sorry. I need to know if it gets through customs. I needed a refreshment. I needed to hydrate. I needed some more caffeine and some healthy energy. Neither here nor there. Let's get back to the battle. Kamikaze, Shrubhead. I got this battle being a 30. If you want to say gentlemen's, you can. If you want to say 2-1, if you want to go there, cool. I'm not going to overly fight, but it's clearly in favor of Kamikaze. I just think, for one, talking about Shrubhead for a second, I think, first of all, salute to you for returning. I think it was, in terms of what you produced for 3 rounds, you definitely had some lines in there that I rock with personally. Definitely had some shit where I'm like, okay, this is the person that everybody has been anticipating returning to battle rap. So I rock with what I was seeing. However, I do think it was very clear you could see the ring rust. You could definitely see the ring rust with Shrubhead. And to me, Kamikaze is way too polished, way too active at this point. The consistency in his writing, I just think it was just too much. In my opinion, I think it was too much. And that's not to say that Shrubhead didn't have lines that I rock with more than Kamikaze lines. It's not to say that, you know what I'm saying, Shrubhead was somehow like he was overpowered and outmatched. I'm not going to go as far as to say that. What I will say is that I could definitely see the ring rust, and I could see that this is somebody who, while it's still creative, while it's still able to have those moments within battles, he still was lacking in the performance aspect, some of the material, just too much time getting to the point sometimes. And I think Kamikaze just a lot more polished at this point, you know what I'm saying, being active, being outside. And this is a clear win for Kamikaze. So I think, for me, I got to be in a 30. If somebody else want to say 2-1, cool. I got to be in a 30. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Kamikaze. I would like to see Shrubhead again. I like what I've seen enough to say, okay, you can be in the mix of the people who are like the newer class of people, whether it's the draft area or it's the you know what I'm saying, if you want to see him and Trady Nate, people like that, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I think that's kind of where he's at. Then we'll see after he gets a little more active, gets a couple more performances under his belt, then we can see where he's really at with it, right? But yeah, salute to Kamikaze. I got that being a 30. Next battle I got is Migs versus Dev. Now, this is a battle where I actually I was one of the judges on this battle. The decision had already been made about this battle before I sent my judgment in. So from my understanding, if that happens, that must have meant that the judges had this being unanimous, at least on their end, or a majority decision on their end, where, if I'm the last person to send in a verdict, it probably don't matter at that point. But I had this battle being 2-1 in favor of Migs, the first and the third. And this is also my battle of the night. I also had this being battle of the night. I really like this battle, and I don't like the narrative around this battle. I don't like it. And it started yesterday. Nobody had a chance to see this battle. Nobody had a chance to go ahead and nobody who was a viewing audience had a chance outside of the people in the building. And the narrative that was pushed is that this was some type of body, some type of kill, some type of just, oh man, he just smoked him. I don't like that narrative at all. I don't like the fact that was even remotely pushed, because that's not what I watched. That's not what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Do I still think that Migs created enough separation to give no doubt about him getting the win? Yes, I do. But I don't think the verbiage is where I'm having a problem with and how this battle was being talked about. And this wasn't the only battle. There were a couple others where people had their chance to go ahead and throw a narrative out there early. It didn't stick. It didn't catch. So I just said we'll start with this one. First round, I like Dev material. I think this might have been, could have said this might have been his best. It was either this one or his second, I think. Either this one or his second. But I also think, and I said this to somebody earlier, I think the fact in a judge battle and you're on the road, you have to set the tone. And I think the way Dev energy was to set the tone with this battle, I don't know if it was enough at first to catch the attention of the crowd, because it didn't seem like the crowd was as receptive. Not saying they weren't reacting, because they obviously were giving crowd reaction, but I think when you're on the road, I think that calls for a different type of
approach when you're going first, because you have to initiate the energy of what the battle is going to be, at least from my perspective, how I was seeing it. So the first round was solid, good round. I wouldn't just want to say good, but it was solid, a good round from Dev. Migs raps, and the difference in energy and how Dev was rapping to how Migs sets the tone. I think that first round, to me, that was in favor of Migs. I think that was a clear round in the first. I like the way that he attacked. I like the way that he was consistent back to back. And I think in that kind of setting, you being at home, being able to establish the tone, when you have that much back to back, when you have that much and you're in attack mode, it's just the visual looks a certain way. And so I did like that first round for Migs. So I had Migs 1-0 going into the second. The second round, this is where I'm really confused at the 3-0 narrative. I don't agree with 30. Like 30 to me is very extreme for this battle. I disagree vehemently that this is a 30. To me, this round here, I thought was very, very well put together from Dev. And I also thought Migs had a very good second as well. But I gave Dev this round. I thought the concept and where he went with the history and the substance and how he tied it together with Migs, I thought that was very good writing. And I think with Dev, we don't obviously, to me, this is just to me, what I think is obvious is when you get kind of typecast as, oh, you're the bully or you're the haymaker guy or you're the puncher. I think when people go outside the box and try to have material where it's more of a point to it, more of the history, more just substance, I think you have to applaud people who are getting in a different bag and creating something that normally ain't they real. That's not normally they style. That's not normally what they do. But I appreciated the angle and where he was going with the material. It started off slow in the beginning when he was kind of introing it and kind of talking about where he was going to go, what the idea, the concept of the round. Once he started landing the haymakers, they all went back to the original intro and the concept. And I thought it was landing powerful in that second round. So I was very impressed with what Dev did in that second. I got to applaud that kind of writing. I thought it is high risk. It's high risk, high reward if you can execute. And I thought he executed. Migs in the second round, I think a little bit more the same as his first. Just a little bit of the foot off the brake. I don't think it was a bad round for Migs. I just think the foot was off, foot off the brake, foot off the gas, just a little bit, in my opinion. So to me, I know there's some people saying that they had Migs 2-0. I don't agree, man. I just thought that the approach Dev took, it landed for me personally. And I gave Dev this round. So I had it 1-1 going into the third. And now in the third round, I think for Dev in this round, there are individual lines that are like strong, heavy haymakers. Just heavy. And I think if this is the round, I'm not mistaken, I got to die to have a family reunion. I think that line was like, God, like lines like that from Dev is like, that's what you're known for. And that's what I think people were expecting. And those lines were powerful. Right? And I love the approach and the writing that he took. This is where the difference is for me. And this is where I had Migs winning the third, is when you go second, especially when you're at home, but just in a general sense of battle rap, in a judge battle, when you're able to go second, you get to respond to what was put out there. You get to respond to the energy. So he was able to go ahead and say, okay, this is what you brought. I know where my energy and my performance needs to be at. I know what I have to add to what I already have. I know what I need to add to this to go ahead and get me that one up. And I think that's what happened in this third round. I gave Migs the third. A very dope approach in here. I did like some of the angles that he took with the demons and everything. I like this round for Migs, man. First and third, Migs 2-1. That was my judge verdict on the battle, but before I even got to hand in my verdict, it seemed like everybody already had given the battle to Migs. At least that's what was announced on the stream. So my verdict is I'm the last person to give a verdict on it. But yeah, I had Migs 2-1. I called this battle of the night because I thought as a back and forth battle, I thought this was the best one. I like this battle. The next battle as well that we're gonna get to, I like that battle as a back and forth as well. And we thought it had potential to be a battle of the night, right? But I think a lot of us had picked Grizz and Hansel, you know, and maybe some people might even pick Nitty and Thesaurus, you know, being the main event. But this battle, I think it stole the show in terms of a back and forth. I think it did. And so Migs 2-1, first and third. That's why I'm calling that one for right now. Next battle, we have Dre Vicious versus Danny Myers. Nothing to talk about. This is a 30. Damn near want to upgrade this to a body bag. I'm about halfway. I'm about 50% of the way from upgrading this to a body because good Lord have mercy. From the word go, this dude, Dre Vicious, was wilding. When he gets to the Pedialyte line, oh my God. Oh, good. What? Excuse me? This is what you were writing while you were away? Oh my goodness. Good grief. Danny, I'm sorry. That might have been like the fourth or fifth bar of his first. I'm telling Danny to fight back already. The bar guy was in hell. I know it was hot as hell out there in Phoenix. Danny, you were in hell in that first round. Good grief. The material? Oh my goodness. Dre was wilding in the first round. That was a lot. So, salute to that. Danny first round was good. Well, I'm not gonna say it wasn't good, but it just was not up to par what Dre Vicious was doing. It wasn't. Anybody with an argument to say they had Danny in the first, I need to really hear the argument because normally I say I'm not mad at an argument. In this case, I'd be mad. I'd be a little bit upset. Like, what you mean? Explain your reasoning. I thought this was a clear 1-0 in the first round for Dre Vicious. And then the next two, Danny Myers chokes in the second and the third. Danny Myers, no, and more no. We are not choking in battles of this magnitude. The rematch, and we're choking against Dre Vicious. And more of the same for Dre in the second and the third. Good grief. I mean, this was a masterclass in material, performance, the way it was delivered, the projection, the energy. Oh, my God. And listen. Dre, I'm going to just say this right now. Respectfully, with the most respect due. Some of y'all need to leave Dre Vicious alone. Some of you, and there are a few of you who you've made it clear you want to battle Dre. Leave this brother alone. Leave this man alone. What was it? The Grape Street Watch GSW. Oh my God. Leave Dre Vicious alone. Leave that man alone. This is not somebody y'all want to battle right now. Let him get another battle out there. See, right now, but good luck. Good grief. And I know some people might be like, "Come on, Nico, you really think so?" Listen, I understand.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
I know that's some of y'all sentiment right now. I know some of y'all are like, Nico, come on, bro. You don't gotta say all. I'm just saying. What do they say when you go to the fence? Beware of dog. Don't beware. Beware when you pull up on that man and have your material together. Because good grief. Shout out Dre Vicious. That was a hell of a performance, man. Performance of the night. And I don't even think it's remotely close. Now, I think it's clear cut in favor of Dre Vicious. That was work. That was work.
I'm back, rejuvenated.
Good grief. Salute. Shout out to Dre Vicious. 3-0. I'm 55% to saying it's a body bag. By the time this live over, I might be about 75% saying this was a body. Good grief. Good grief. My goodness. Now, there's some comments on the screen, man. It was there. Mama, I see you in the chat. Salute. Blackout, I see you as well. Man, we was talking about the card. I'm just recapping the card. I know I said I was gonna wait to do the recap show for the radio. We're gonna do that tomorrow, unless they give the actual verdict for Grizz and Hansel. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't heard anything. We're gonna get to that controversy here when we get through the recap. I'm just recapping the event and what I was seeing so far. So yeah, that's Dre Vicious performance of the night. You know what I'm saying? Good shit. That was great work. Good work for sure. Next battle we have Madman League versus Bandit Montana.
I heard a lot of narratives going into this battle where it was like, man, Bandit, versus Fade, and most people try to say that he won the battle. I thought it was more debatable. I actually had Fate winning that battle because most of the lines that I remembered from the battle outside of Bandit Montana's rebuttal were from Fate. I think I had the best lines of the battle. So to me, I thought Fate won it, but seemed like the consensus of most people wanted to say Fate lost. So, okay, you go into this battle, got some momentum on this league, and you battling the league owner. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm looking at this like, all right, what are you going to be able to create versus league? What can you create, right? And for the most part, from what I was seeing, man, I like this battle. This is one of the 3 best battles on the card in terms of a back and forth. This is one of the 3. I mean, maybe. Nitty and Thesaurus. That's up there. I wasn't mad at that back and forth. Obviously, Capo and A Ward, but just talking about, you know what I'm saying, this battle for a second, man. I like what I seen from this one, man. Very solid battle. I had Leak winning this battle 2-1. I can't remember what round. I know I gave Bandit Montana a round. I didn't write it down earlier, like what round, but I know I gave him at least one of the rounds. I thought it was it was a close battle. This was a fight. This wasn't no like wash where you just getting somebody up out of here. I thought this was a fight. I thought this was a good fight as well. And it showed me a lot from Bandit Montana because he doesn't really get a lot of credit for the writing. He doesn't get a lot of credit with people putting him up there with certain names. But I thought that he fought in this battle. I just think Leak was better. Just he rapped better. I thought some of the lines strategically were better. Shout out to Bandit Montana. I did respect the rebuttals. I appreciate anybody who can rebuttal, bro. When you got rebuttals, man, that's something, bro. Because everybody can't do it. There's people who have tried, but can't do it. And I appreciate people who are able to get into that bag. But yeah, I had Leak 2-1. I'm not really sure on what, because I didn't write it down in the moment. I wasn't like, oh, this round. I was really focusing on 2 battles for like the specifics on that. But with this one, I think I had Leak 2-1. He won the battle. Shout out to Bandit Montana. I wouldn't be mad at seeing him pull back up to the West. I wouldn't be mad at it. And I think at this point, even though this wasn't like an ass whooping, this wasn't like a clear, like, oh, this is just work. This is just, he got him out of there. I think we still got to put some more respect on Leak name the battler. I think that he's proven right now that he is one of the best doing it right now in terms of the active people right now. And I think he deserves some more respect for his craft. I think he's worked ever since he came back to being active. He's put in the work. He's shown up. He raps. He has quotable lines. I think right now, I think it's about that time we start, increasing the respect for Madman League. So I have him winning the battle 2-1. A very solid battle. I like this battle. Very solid. Next battle to get to. Next battle to get to, we have Young Grizz versus Hansel. This was my pick. This was my pick for Battle of the Night. Before the event, I said, I think this has Battle of the Night written all over it. That's what I said. Last night, before I even got a chance to even ask anybody, inquire, updates, what's going on, I seen a certain somebody, Young Grizz, said, tell Nico to make room, get the Battle of the Year award. Let's get it out the way now. Okay. Change my expectations. I'm like, damn, I know I said I thought it would have been Battle of the Night, but it was like that. Oh, I got to see this. So let's get to the battle. Now, before we get into the breakdown of anything, let me just say, I am not swayed by crowd reaction. Just want to put that out there first. I'm not swayed by crowd reaction. And I say that because it's not just the crowd in the building that I'm referring to right now. The chat. Oh, chat. Oh, no. See, chat, you thought you was going to get away with it. You thought y'all was just going to be able to say some stuff and people wasn't going to remember. Oh, I remember.
He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it. So neither are you.
Y'all thought you got away with it when you jumped in the chat. I was being so dismissive of young Grizz. Some of you saying things like, yeah, that kind of material on the first. Nigga! Are you telling me that you guys were unimpressed with the first round? The nerve of you in the chat. Let's get to the first round, though. I've had my time talking about the chat. We got a whole lot to talk about with the chat. We'll get there in a minute. So the battle. I think Hansel starts the battle off round one. Solid round. Solid round from Hansel. Now, I will say this. As it was going, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the turn up. I'm looking for that energy. I'm looking for that performance to start getting to that level. And he showed flashes in the first. There were flashes here and there where it's like, okay, that's the pocket. That's where we need to be at. And then he would kind of go back into like a slow walk and kind of just going through. I'm like, the energy didn't seem like it was there. To me, I'm like, the energy ain't really there. Like, Hansel, what's going on? I wasn't sure what was going on. I was like, look, respectfully, this man, this ain't enough. This is not enough. And if you're sporting, shame on them.
Who told you that?
Because I'm like, the door was left open. Normally you say, okay, the door was cracked. Okay, you have to have a really great round. The door was left ajar, just slightly, ajar adjacent, slightly. No, you can see into the next room. You can look through this door and see into the room, and you can identify every single thing that's in that room. So we get to the first round for Grizz. Good luck. Like I said, there were flashes from Hansel in this first. It's a solid round, very solid, with really good lines here and there. For sure. Grizz, the energy he brought in the first round, he set the tone for what I'm thinking a championship fight is supposed to have. The energy, the performance he brought early, first couple bars, that's what I'm talking about. Grizz set the tone. Okay, that's what the champ does. Great. So I gave Grizz the first round. A lot of nice lines in this first. Woo. I thought he got this round clearly. I thought the first round was clearly in favor of Grizz. Now, get to the second round. Let me hydrate real quick. Dre DeRay, let me know. Let me know if Matcha gets through custom. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to be healthy. Second round. I don't know if Grizz pissed Hansel off while Grizz was rapping. I don't know if Hansel just knew when his first was over, like, okay, I know I got to turn up in my second. I don't know if this was pre-planned that his second round was going to start off the way it did. Hansel, and I wish I had the video on here. That's how you rap. From now on, that's the way you rap. That's the way you rap. What? Oh, my God. This second round from Hansel. Oh, my goodness. Material. High quality. He always has high quality material. But the performance, this is what I thought I was going to see in the first. I'm like, yo, what the? What? Okay, now we have a fight. Now we have a fight. And I felt that way for like 2/3 of this second round until there was a pothole in the road. That was until there was a slip up on the way to the end. That was until Hansel chokes. Now, let's be clear. The fumbling of the words was not where I said he's choking. That's not that wasn't the let me be clear on this, right? Be clear. Where it was at for me was when he went to get the water, because now you're compounding the fumbling, you're trying to get back into it, then going to get the water, then coming back, and you didn't come back to it. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. I could be corrected. I'm not above humanity, but I think he jumped into a whole different segment of material to end the round. To me, that's a choke. He was stumbling for a minute, and then when he got the water, to me, that's a choke. There was a significant time period where you were not rapping, and you clearly had lost where you were at. To me, that was a choke. Now, I need to be clear on this, right? For me, the debate was, well, I thought this is what that was. What's the culture saying? The culture was very undecided on this. So my end goal was, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to deduct points in this situation. Because I could have just easily said, okay, you choked this round. Grizz 2-0 going into the third. I could have easily said that. But in my mind, the way I'm seeing people react to in real time, it was undecided. So even me, I'm like, well, I see Mike P in here. He kind of breaking it down and saying, you know, how he looking at it. This person, I'm in real time. I'm in the PlayStation party. We listening to the battle. We talking about it. Like, okay. So let's just say it's an aggressive stumble. You're going to lose points. You lose points a lot for this moment. But let's say that's not enough for you to just lose the round outright. Let's see what Grizz does. And this is where I think, this is just my opinion, but this is where I think a lot of people were more willing to say it wasn't a choke, because Grizz did not do anything in the second round to be like, okay, you took this round. Like you stole this round. He left the door open slightly ajar with that stumble and that choke. He left the door open. Now we see where you're at. So to me, it's like in a judge battle of this magnitude. If you call that a choke, Grizz wins the battle. Outright, Grizz wins the battle. The consensus of what I seen in that chat was that they thought Hansel had that round won. I even seen some people in that chat who said Hansel was up 2-0, which is egregious, and y'all should be banned from talking about battle rap. There's no way in hell that was what the case was. Shame on some of you people. Matter of fact, because I don't know your name, shame on you.
Who's that Pokemon?
Outrageous. The nerve of some of you people. 2-0 Hansel? Drunk. Partaking of the spirits. See, this is healthy. Get you some green drink. Good for you. Healthy. Caffeine. Antioxidants. Some of you niggas were partaking of the spirits. You niggas was drinking heat. Had the Hennessy. Some of you Negroes was drinking Reposado. I don't know what you niggas over there drinking. And some of you niggas, I'm pretty sure, maybe times was tough. Maybe some of you niggas went over there and you niggas was drinking Christian Brother. Maybe even some E&J. The nerve, the absolute nerve. Drunk you guys were. This battle was 1-1 going into the third. I'm going to go with the culture. I'm going to say it's 1-1. Because as much as I'm like, man, when he went for the water, that makes it a choke. There's nobody. I didn't see a human being say Grizz 2-0. I didn't see a human say Grizz 2-0. I didn't see it. Did not. Right? So that's where I was with that. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, looking through the scope, crazy. That light skin, that was crazy, outlandish. So even with that being said, even with what Hansel did, he still had a better second round. So 1-1 going into the third. Again, if you consider that a choke,
You have to say Grizz was up 2-0. You have to, because Grizz clearly won the first. So to me, 1-1. Let's get to the third round. I think the third from Hansel, I like the joke approach, and when he was talking about the keloid, I did. I thought after a certain point in time, you're dragging it. You're spending way too much time on this particular angle, and it was falling flat for me. For me personally, right? Now at the start, landed, but after a while, it's like you keep going back to the same point, and it just not landed. For me personally, it was not landing. Now, other solid lines, good lines in the round, but it just seemed like this was the lightest out of the three from Hansel. I'm gonna be honest. I thought this was the lightest that he had in terms of his rounds. I thought this was the lightest. And in terms of Grizz, I also thought this was the lightest round from Grizz. I thought this round was very, very close. I gave Grizz the round because I thought Grizz had just a little bit more, especially how he ended. I think the last line he delivered, I thought that was like, okay, that kind of, for me, okay, that did it. Because to me, it was just like, I'm not going to say a mid-off. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I will not be disrespectful. Right?
I will not be disrespectful and say this was a mid-off like some of you Negroes did on that damn stream.
This is a sick Negro.
I will not say it. Slightly mid-off adjacent, but I won't say it. One minute, I won't say it. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. And some of y'all should be. Some of y'all should not, absolutely not be talking like this. And the funny thing that I see, we'll get to this, bro. It's so funny to me how some of y'all side tangent battle rappers. Y'all are some of the funniest human beings in the world. Even those of you who are not even known for comedy, some of you are the funniest human beings I've ever encountered. The nerve of some of y'all to talk about this is a mid-off. What do you call your discography?
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Some of y'all have the absolute nerve, the audacity to say mid-off for Hansel and Young Grizz. Some of you have lost your fucking mind. Some of you are not qualified to have that take. I'm going to stand on that. The nerve of some of you niggas, the absolute nerve. How dare you? A mid-off? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I will not be a part of any such slander calling that a mid-off.
Do not attach any association of this to me whatsoever. I have nothing to do with such idiocy, such blasphemy, such ridiculous nonsense.
No, I will not be a part of such flagrancy. I will not. Having said that, this was the lightest round from both. At the end of the battle, with it being that close, I have Grizz winning the battle. This might not be a popular take, but it's a take that happens all the time. Box anywhere. When you're the challenger and you're going against the champ, you don't get the decision when it's dead even. You don't get the decision. You have to beat the champ. You have to win. You have to clearly win this fight. You don't get this just because, it's close. Because even with that being said, I'm about to get into the other side of the chat and where we got to get into that. And to me, a battle where it's like that, I thought Grizz did just enough to say, okay, you retain your title. I don't think you give Hansel the battle in that situation. I don't. That's just me. You have to beat the champ. That's like, not a debatable battle. And it further proved my point when we get to the votes. The votes in the chat doubled down on my exact precedent. It was 50-50 after 200 votes.
To me, that decision now goes to Grizz. It does. So now that I've said that, let's get to the next portion. Because this is where this is where I'm having the other issue. This is where I'm having the other issue at, right? I'm gonna try and catch up on some comments. Salute. Let me see here. I'm trying to catch up on some of these comments. Third round sounded like some shit. Oh no. Hey, no, just so I'm not being looked like I said this. This was not me saying this. I would not say this. I would never.
Alleyway Bug? Wait, excuse me.
You're telling
Nico that the third round from Hansel and Young Grizz was some shit you see?
Who's that Pokemon?
You're telling me? Calm down, Nico. He knows not what he speaks. He knows not what he speaks. He knows not what he speaks. He knows not what he is saying. He said he was trolling. All right, y'all. Listen, I take it back. He said he was trolling. Listen, Blackout is saying he was trolling. He was not serious. All right. Now, what I will say is because that was a little too close for comfort, what I will say is you might need some of this.
Somebody take that nigga phone, man. He acting a plumb damn fool. Get your ass off your phone, nigga.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. Again, I wouldn't want to misappropriate anything because those are serious claims. When you invoke the name of Alleyway Book, those are serious. That's a very serious claim. All right. There's that. Everybody that's not free game was ass. Okay, we're at the say anything portion here. We're at the, you know what I'm saying? We're at that portion now. But anyway, let's get to the chat. This is where I have my most aggressive opinions. Now, this is where I'm pretty sure some people will not agree. This will be controversial. I'm putting it out there already, but this is Nico's opinion. My opinion. Nico TV, Voice of the West, my opinion. A battle of this magnitude, a battle that listen, when you start talking about rounds of the night for the event, your Grizz first, Hansel second, you're gonna start putting those in a certain bracket. I'm just gonna be honest. You're gonna put those up there, top 5 of the night. I don't think the lasting impression should be the judgment was undecided after the specified mark that was supposed to be reached. To me, that takes away from this battle and this matchup. When you tell people get to 200 votes and they get to 200 votes and the vote is 50-50, to me, personally, there is no way in hell you are still undecided about what the judgment is.
I beg your pardon.
How in the hell is there not a judgment at the point when the chat had already reached 200? Let me just say something to y'all. First of all, at a certain point in time in the chat, there were over 500 people in there. During this particular battle, I think the most that it was like high 380s, maybe low 400, like 406, something like that, right? During this battle, which is still very good because that's the hardcore battle rap fans. That's that culture pulling up to watch this. We literally had nothing else going on. Nothing, right? Yesterday, you would have been sharing the spotlight with URL, UMC. Today, us, right? There's no way in hell you allow this decision to not be made the moment the battle is done. Once you got the 200 votes, battle over. Decision needs to be made. Period. Straight up. Straight up, bro. There's no way in hell the decision is not already made. Bro, come on. Like, seriously. I'm trying not to be funny. I'm trying to, like, bro, when you have, okay, for those who don't know or, do know, when you have judges, right, and you're in the building, right, let's say you have judges that are in the building. And from my understanding, these judges weren't in the building, so they're going by what was just viewed on the camera, right? So normally after a battle is done, battle's concluded, the league owner, whoever was in charge of the judges, they walk around, they go up to the people who they was going to say judging right, and they'll ask you, hey, how did you feel about this decision? How did you, what's your decision? How you call it? They get to that immediately. They're not even wasting time. They're not even wasting time. You know what I'm saying? They're not. I see Povich in here. Salute Povich. Man, Ken, you're not a war zone dude. Man, knock it off. You about to distract me from my main point that I'm trying to make. But look, they pull up to you in the venue. They're like, hey, who you have winning? What's up? You tell them who with the rounds, how you got them winning. They go to the next person. They get that, and within like 5 minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes, they have the decision and they're ready to go ahead and announce it to the crowd. This is who people have winning. So for this, in a live stream situation in which you were already told ahead of time, this battle is happening on the stream, you need to be present, you need to judge. To me, I don't understand how the hell we don't have a judgment when the battle's done. Let's say because it's live stream, let's say it took an extra day. Let's say 10 minutes. Right? Because when you say go to 200, that might have took more than 5 minutes. Okay, cool. By the time you got to 200 votes in the chat, there's no way in hell that you don't have a verdict. And even if that verdict is 2 judges said Hansel, 2 judges said Grizz, and then the fan vote said 50-50, you know what happens in a situation? Grizz still retains his championship because the champion was not beat. The decision was split. Split decision goes to the champion. You won. That's how this shit goes. That's how this shit goes. And to me, I thought it was a grievous misstep to have this shit happen. To me personally, because I don't care if it would have been, okay, they said Hansel won the battle. The winner of the battle is not even a factor to me, whether it's Grizz or Hansel. It's you when you say something, and this is the structure, we're saying you got to get to 200 votes, and then you get there. It almost comes off like that wasn't the decision. Like, okay, it's 50-50. We're not satisfied with that. Let them keep voting. Like, come on, bro. Because now you're getting into the area where now you can start reaching out to people who probably didn't watch the stream, people who weren't even paying attention, people who are just now pulling up because now the next battle pulled up, and I think it was Capo and A-Ward. Now you got people who didn't even have anything to do with Hansel and Grizz, who possibly weren't there, who pull up to the chat, see that there's a voting poll. Oh, I know this person, I'm going to vote for them. Or I like this person, I'm going to vote for them. You put it into way too much of a gray area where now you've taken away the essence of who was there watching it live when it was actively happening. That first 200 were the people who are actually there actively watching this happen. To me, after that, that's how I didn't like that. I didn't. And I know the end result was Hansel won the fan vote. It was 53% to 47%. Salute to that. I still don't like the way that played out. For a battle like this, I don't like that. And I don't know who was to blame. I don't know if it's the judges who were to blame because they was on bullshit. They was lacking. They was doing whatever they was doing, saying they didn't want to give a decision, whatever the play was, whatever it was. I just was not, I didn't like how it played out. I didn't. And if you get to a point where it's 50-50, you don't like the outcome. All right, hey, look, man, these are the judges that y'all said. Can y'all get me some more judges? You need 3 more people to give a verdict. And these next 3 people, however they decide, this is who went. If you want to do that. But I think there was more than enough people who were there in the building who were qualified. I've seen KG, people of that stature there. Nino, there's people like that who could have judged. There's people online watching from all over the place. I seen Doc was in there. Salute to Doc. I seen him in the chat. I seen Lady Caution in the chat. I seen Kay Walker in the chat. I'm seeing more than enough people that are in the chat who are of a certain caliber, whose word will be respected in a judgment. I'm pretty sure you could have got any one of them people to go ahead and judge. To me, I just thought that was a misstep. And to me, hopefully, we can get some finality to this. Hopefully we can get some type of understanding to why this happened. And the judges, you should know who these judges are.
There ain't no point in protecting they fucking name or anything. Put them out there. Make them have to stand on. Hey, look, bro. I put in my vote. This is why I said win the battle when the battle was over. Make them have to explain themselves because Ultimate Madness, same thing. When there was money, when there was something on the line, they had to explain why they had who they had winning. They had to right then and there. Boom. You don't get time to. You don't get a day. You don't get hours. You get right then and there. Boom. Who you got?
That's just my 2 cents on that, man. I'm interested to see who the final verdict is for, because whether it's Hansel or Grizz, Miz is waiting. And I'm going to keep it real with Hansel and Grizz. This ain't enough for Miz.
What this was displayed right here, that ain't going to cut it versus Miz. The Miz we just saw today, that's not going to cut it. So whoever gets the championship, whoever won this battle, you going to need to step up because Miz, that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. I'm sorry. That's just not going to fly. It's not.
Got to be a talk about Dev possibly getting 30 back-to-back battles. Oh, 30?
He didn't get 30 in this battle with Migs. He didn't get 30 versus Migs, bro.
I'm not eating that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to tolerate it.
Disgraceful. No. Now, he did get 30 the previous battle versus X the guy. He said he did. So he admitted 30. I have to go with his word. But this battle, 2-1.
But back-to-back losses is something that needs to be talked about because he started off the year, the belt was out. Foat belt was out. Versus Patrol, 30. Versus Ray Bay. The belt was out. Last two. Ooh. Last two look a little different. So, yeah, we definitely talk about back-to-back losses, but 30s, I can't go that far. I can't do that, bro. The Migs, it's not a 30, bro. I can't. I can't do that. I understand why some people will. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
You know what I'm saying? And again, because you did, let me make sure I got your wording correct. Let me make sure I gotta be a talk about it. So you want us to have the talk. Us, we, the people. You want us to have the conversation.
Who is we? Who is we?
Explain yourself, Sir Blackout. Neither here nor there. Let's get back to the recap. I had Grizz 2-1. Close battle. Again, I just want to see the finality, the verdict. Whoever won, salute to y'all because y'all went to war. And regardless of what anybody felt about individual rounds in the battle, y'all went to war. And that's a championship fight. So salute to y'all on that. Next battle, Capo versus A-Ward. I think this is pretty clear and concise. Capo won the battle either 2-1 or 3-0. It's clear 2-1. I've seen some people trying to say 30. I don't know. I might have had a debate or felt like one of them rounds was closer. But Capo, this is what I'm going to say about Capo. I got to make sure I'm very clear on this too. I'm so tired of people in battle rap not giving him his proper just due when it comes to his craft. I hear the fucking shit that y'all say about, man, this nigga is all promo. This nigga is 99 promo and then his material is this rating or his... I'm so tired of y'all saying that tired ass narrative because he pulled up out here before and battled KO. I'm pretty sure some of the West, y'all remember that battle when he battled KO. You gonna tell me his material wasn't high quality, high level material when he battled KO? That was 3-4 years ago. So you thought he just forgot how to create material? Shame on some of y'all. Just no. Absolutely not. Like some of y'all, I think just be kind of hating, and some of y'all takes about Capo be very, very suspect.
Hell no. This is the kind of stuff we got to put a stop to. This is not good. This is bad. I have a question.
I'll be the one to say it. I'll be the one to say it, bro. Like for real. He has been creating, and in this battle, everybody that I even saw with an account was saying A-Ward was going to clear this, man. He pulled up and cleared A-Ward. So the same way that y'all was typing, the same way that y'all was on shows and on blogs and all, the same way y'all had all that energy for him then, I need that same energy when you see this nigga on the social media. I need to see them comments give him his credit. I need to see people verify that this man Capo, who y'all said wasn't like that, just arguably 30, the champion of the year. I need the energy to be equal to how y'all was talking about this man leading up to this battle, because he was putting in work. And A-Ward was not trash. Let's make sure we say that too, because I know some of y'all are going to try and use that tired-ass narrative. Oh, man, A-Ward, no, he was trash. I'm not doing that. He was trash. He was trash. No, first of all, he wasn't. I'm not even going to allow y'all to get that filth through custom.
You must be some kind of a dumbass.
Yeah, I'm not letting y'all get that shit through customs. We're not doing that at all. A-Ward was good. He just met somebody who was better in this particular day. That particular day, met somebody who was better prepared, better performance in attack mode. Capo 2-1 clear, possible 30, and I fuck with A-Ward again. A-Ward was good. This wasn't like he got a okay A. No, he got a good A-Ward. Capo just was in his mode, man. You got to give credit to that. Got to give credit to that. And then the main event, Nitty versus the Source, the legend battle for the West. Like I said, we don't get too many of these with our top tiers. You know what I'm saying? Free Gotti, you know what I'm saying? He had battled a lot of our the top tiers and the legends over here. You got, Diz and Ilmac and the Source. I think Gotti almost got all of them outside, I think, like Daylight. You know what I'm saying? But so these battles, it's few and far between when we get them. So when we get them, it's a real treat. And I thought this battle was very good, man. I thought this was one of the 3 best battles of the night. I thought it was. You said A-Ward was ass. He was trying to freestyle and got ass. Hated A-Ward. Man, that's tough. Listen, I understand, because I've seen a lot of people in the chat add similar sentiments. I just don't agree. I just don't agree. Now for this battle, Nitty 2-1 clear. Possible 30. It's clear. I appreciated the Source material. I did. But I think we're in an age now where punching and just the creativity level that Nitty brings every battle, he's the most, as he said versus Ilmac, you're going to fail to mention I'm the most dangerous. He's dangerous, especially in these type of settings, man. So Nitty clear. Again, I like what the Source was doing in this battle. I don't think the Source was bad. I'm not accepting anybody saying that he was bad, because that's outlandish for any of y'all to even try and present that as a narrative about the Source. Outlandish.
I'm blocking you. That was the dumbest shit I heard all day.
Yeah, I'm not even going to allow that to even fester or even get going. We're not even doing that. We're not doing that at all. This was this was good. You're recording this in a closet? No, this ain't no damn. First of all, you think No, this is a room. There's space. I'm able to. No, not a closet. First of all, who was that that said that? I want to make sure I get the right person when I say Mr. Right. See, Mr. Right, this is what happens. See, you pull up talking like that. You pull up talking, Mr. Right. I need you to understand. Just because I'm over here recapping that the belt was out between the battle rappers, don't mean I can't turn my attention and bring belt work back over here. Huh? The nerve of you, manager, right? And you've been doing a good job with your management. I see what you're doing, the smooth and jug man narrative. You've been in your narrative bag. I know your archetype, right? Because I have them of a similar archetype. We know how to control the narrative and get the narrative across the way it needs to be unpacked to the viewing and the listening audience. But this is my shit. Hold it down. No, it's my shit. Get quiet with back to your Absolutely not. No, and more no. Huh? No. Outlandish. The nerve. Huh? Me? You lost your mind. You're out of it. You're out of it. And I need an explanation from some of y'all who say some of these narratives that y'all been saying. I need an explanation. The nerve of some of you people. What's wrong with you? Y'all been drinking all last night? The event didn't happen, so you continue drinking your spirits, partaking of the spirits into today? The nerve of y'all. Get you something healthy. Again, Dre Del Rey, listen, I'm sorry, my brother, if this is violation. Matcha, it's healthy. It's not a frappuccino. This is no frappuccino. Not a frappuccino. It's matcha. It's healthy. Please allow your brother to be healthy out here, please. Neither here nor there, man. That's my full recap of the event. I'm still waiting on the grids in hand, so I don't know if it has been announced while I've been live or anything. I'm waiting on that announcement. I'm hoping that they do right with that announcement, man, because that battle, even though I know a lot of people were down on the quality overall of the battle when watching it, I thought it was a fight, man. I think a fight of that magnitude where they basically matched each other to the very end, I think it deserves a verdict that's just as thorough, just as hard fought. So, we'll wait on that one. Like I said, tonight, if they put out the verdict soon, I'll be able to do a radio show. If not, my radio show is scheduled for tomorrow, 7 p.m. And that's, my time slot, because I know I've been inconsistent with it. But Monday, 7 p.m., you can pencil that in. You can turn your notifications on for that day. You guarantee going to get these live stream radio shows, Peel Your Cap Radio, every Monday, 7 p.m. and on Fridays, 7 p.m. So unless there's anything else I need to go ahead and get to or need to go ahead and say, that's pretty much it for my recap. I don't really have too much else. Dev does need a good. I agree with that. Now that's a good one. That's a very good point. He does need a win soon. But what I will say is I think that, a loss like this might be what the doctor ordered, because I think he might be in that bag for the next person where it's like, look, they've been talking about me a certain way. Now I gotta make sure that we get back to that. Now, what I will say is with this whole entire card, there was not one. There were no battles on this card that were of the store run variety.
Jack mashed potatoes, rave hairspray, and nacho cheese Doritos.
There were no store runs on this battle. You were not going shopping. You were not paying attention to your shopping cart online. You were not going to the store. You were not doing anything else. I was 100% locked in to West Lane 3. The West was very well represented today. I love what I've seen from the battlers. Salute to y'all. This was a very good showing, I thought, overall for an event. Really good event. If I had to give it a rating, I have to give it a rating out of 10. I give this a strong 8 out of 10. I like what I seen, man. There was some good shit. Even when you probably weren't as impressed with certain rounds, you didn't turn the battle off. You knew you still had to watch it and maintain your viewership because you knew something could happen. So I thought the entertainment was there. I like the pace. I just love the pace, man. I know people are like, man, we didn't get the battle. I ain't gonna lie. In the future, leagues, think about doing this. Have the event where it's not just the people in the building get to see it, and then the next day, drop it as a stream like Westworld did, where one after another, and you just get to the battles back to back to back. I thought that was so dope, bro, because you got all the battles in one, got to the point. You didn't have to take breaks. That was just beautiful. You can get on with the rest of your day. I thought that was powerful. I thought that was powerful, personally. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't want to be his next stop. I definitely understand. You said, did you talk about V Gotti versus Jalopy? Ooh, I forgot. No, hold on. I did, didn't I? No, I didn't. I did not. Great catch. Great catch. I'm glad you said that. That's a great catch. Because I for sure forgot about it. I for sure did. But we going let's first of all, because I forgot about a battle on the card, let me go ahead and I have to be fair. Because I forgot, this is who Nico is in the moment.
Who's that Pokemon?
In this moment right now, I cannot say that I am not of a particular variety at the moment. Because this battle definitely needs to be talked about. Jason Amaru versus V Gotti. Let's talk about it.
I thought pretty clearly, I'm going to say Jason got this battle. Oh, I appreciate it, Mama. Salute for pulling up. Appreciate you. I would say for me, I thought he won this battle 2-1. V Gotti was good, and I did not like the fact that people were acting like V Gotti wasn't good. I got that, like the chat was punching for him. I seen people who rock with him in the chat, but I kind of got the impression that the crowd, or maybe it's the way he was delivering, I don't know. But to me, I thought V Gotti was good. I thought he had some good shit in this battle. It was a very solid back and forth. I don't think that it was just belt or he was just abusing him. I didn't get that impression whatsoever. I rock with what I've seen from both of them, but I got to sign 2-1. I thought, he did enough to say that he got this victory. He did make mention of who he could have battled, which I found interesting. Keith got a lot of strays at this event. People mentioned him a few times. So who knows? Who knows about potential matchups in the future, all that. He mentioned Foots as well, which that was a matchup, I'm saying, as well, that could have happened. But I just, for what he did, because he's also returned. And that's the thing about returning. You want to see, where are you at with this? Do you have any ring rust? And I'll be honest, I didn't see, out of everybody who returned, obviously Dre was the pinnacle. You got Shrubhead. He was better than Shrubhead for sure. Absolutely. I didn't see too much ring rust. I rock with what he did, man. This was a very solid, good performance. I'm not even going to just say solid. This is a good showing from I want to say Jalopy, but I know that the stream said Jason. So we're gonna say Jason Amaru. You know what I'm saying? I thought this was a strong showing, and I like what I've seen. Definitely would like to see him battle again out west. It's been a while since he battled out west. I know he took his talents elsewhere, was battling iBattle, all of that. But I would like to see him battle some people over here. There's a lot of people who have been elevating in recent history, and I think he could give a lot of good battles over here. Maybe him and Kamikaze, Dre Del Rey is out there. Obviously, Lucky, the notable names. I think a lot of them are there. And then also the All-Stars too. I mean, he is somebody who battled Billy Boondocks before he stopped battling. So it's not like he was, unable to get an all-star battle. He had performed well in that one. So I like what I've seen from him in this battle, man. Good, very good call. I'm very glad y'all caught that. Got a couple rising stars winning versus him. That's an interesting take. I'm not mad at that take. Because I think there are some who would do rising stars who would win too. But I think he will pack up a couple of y'all. And there's a few of y'all, because he got a certain talk to him. He got a certain talk where it's like, okay, I hear you. And some of them lines that he can create, I ain't seen some of y'all create the lines that he's able to create, and some of the substance that he talks with. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that take at all, man. But yeah, Jason 2-1. Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Put on the show. That's a great call. I forgot about that one, man. We did not get Lady Lines versus Furious Styles. I was hoping to see the ladies battle. I don't know if it happened or if it didn't happen and they're going to reschedule, but that's one that I was hoping to see. Salute to the ladies. Hopefully we can get that rescheduled. I see that in the future. But yeah, man, that's my recap for this event. I'm not trying to be here, keeping y'all attention all day, man. I appreciate those of y'all who did. If you here, man, hit the like. If you have not already, hit the like. The like is very important for your boy. Please hit the like. I need everybody who don't watch this, hit the like. If you're watching it on replay, hit the like for your boy. I appreciate the support. This is my full recap. Again, tomorrow, 7 p.m., we will have Pilliard Cap Radio, the official West Lane 3 recap show. I will be live streaming it just like this, and we will bring everybody who wants to pull up. I'll have the link in the chat. Y'all can go ahead and join up. I'll let y'all talk your shit. If it's on your battle, you can pull up, say whatever. I'll make sure I mute people, all of that good stuff. We'll make sure that you go ahead and be able to say the stuff that you need to say as well, man. No, what's up, Firehead? I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, man. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm out of here. I think it's 2K time. First of all, it's food time. It's time to get food. I've worked up an appetite talking about these Negroes. Huh? I said I worked up an appetite. Now I need to go get some food. All right? But anyway, neither here nor there. I'm out of here. Your boy Nico TV.
the voice of the West. As my brother Ledge always says, keep it battle rap. And as I always like to say, man, keep it West. I'm out of here. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.